الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سار على سبيله إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So today inshallah ta'ala we'll continue concerning the book Al-Mulakhiz Al-Fiqhi by Shaykh Salih Al-Fawzan Hafidhullah. And today inshallah ta'ala also we'll continue where we'd start discussing concerning Salat al-Adhar, regarding the Salat relating to those people of some form of excuse Shar'an. And we had stopped regarding the second situation regarding Salat al-Raqib. So the person who's the rider, what are some of the ahkam that relates to that particular Salat and circumstance. Tafaddal.
Bismillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Chapter 25, Prayer of those having illegal excuses. The second person, the prayer of the riders. A Muslim rider is considered one of the excused as long as he can be hurt when dismounting his animal. Some cases of possible harm are when there is mud or it is raining, when he cannot remount his animal if he descends, when he fears to miss his companions, when he fears an enemy or a wild animal. In such cases and the like, it is permissible for a rider to perform prayer while riding his animal or the like. This came in the hadith narrated on the authority of Ya'la ibn Murrah, may Allah be pleased with him, who said, the Prophet ﷺ and his companions were on a journey when the time of prayer became due and it rained. At that time they were on a pathway. The sky was raining from above them and it was wet below. Therefore Allah's Messenger ﷺ ordered that the prayer call adhan and the immediate prayer call iqama be pronounced while he was on his she-camel. And then he proceeded on his she-camel and then led them in prayer, only becking, bowing and prostration, and making the prostration gesture lower than the one of bowing, related by Ahmad and At-Tirmidhi. Naam.
So Allah that he started this particular discussion or this matter regarding Salat al-Raqib, regarding concern the person who's the rider. So you mentioned first regarding concerning that Salat al-Raqib, then also the ulama that they'll include concerning this particular case concerning al-Raqib or Rahila, the person on his mount, that either circumstance or cases such as an example concerning al-Safina, the person like who is in a boat or a ship, more so regarding a small boat, they refer to as like a Safina, also al-Ta'ira, or the person who's on a aircraft, and also circumstance concerning al-Qitar, the person who's also on a train or a bus or the likes, or Sayara. So these are the things concerning that will apply to circumstance like this concerning the Raqib, the person who's traveling using one of these type of means of travel, that the person's salat as to how the person is to pray in such circumstance. So that's concerning mentioned regarding concerning this matter, and for one to understand that is in regard to as-salatul farida. So it's concerning the person who's praying is compulsory salah in this circumstance. Then the Shaykh mentioned وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْأَعْذَارِ, of those people who have a legitimate excuse شرحا الراكب, the person who is the rider, إِذَا كَانَ يَتَأَذَّى بِنُزُولِهِ لِلصَّلَاةِ, if the person find it difficult for him to dismount from his ride and to pray. So this is the case of the person that he has to remain upon his mount, his vessel that he's traveling on. He has to pray on that thing. So he mentioned regarding that, that's the condition that the person find difficulty, mashaqqa, or I mentioned that the person find harmful, it's going to be harmful for the person to remain, to come down, dismount, and to pray normally on the ground. So in this case, that the Sharia allow for the person to pray. So case where the person will find it difficult to dismount or to be on the ground while praying. Then he mentioned regarding some examples. So he mentioned regarding al-matar, and other cases that the person might find it difficult to pray normal due to the circumstance. So he mentioned some examples. Then he mentioned after then, then he mentioned the evidence for this, concerning the evidence by way of the hadith regarding where the hadith, it proves or is an evidence used to justify a person praying in this fashion. He mentioned a hadith concerning Al-Yala ibn Murrah, that he mentioned this particular case as the hadith was read to us. So he mentioned regarding concerning the hadith that he mentioned Rawahu Ahmed wa Tirmidhi. So the hadith that was mentioned, given the legitimacy of praying in this fashion, then the hadith is mentioned, cited in Ahmed and his Musnad, At-Tirmidhi rahimahullah in his Al-Jami, Al-Sunan. Then as for this particular hadith, that is hadith is under discussion by the ulama. And you find the likes concerning Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah of those who hold the hadith to be daif. So the hadith is daif. So this hadith is somewhat daif regarding this particular matter. So as we'll mention regarding concerning that this matter, as mentioned, that there's other evidence to prove that this is something which is legitimate to be done, and especially in today's way of travel, we'll explain circumstance that applies to us regarding cases like these. So regarding concerning as-safina, that as we mentioned, the ulama have mentioned regarding a person praying on a boat. Today we have very large vessels concerning ships, but if the person finds that so the person have the ability to pray normally on the ship, which is in most cases, then the person do so. But the person of small vessel and the time of salat has entered, and the person fear that he will not be able to reach his destination, we're able to pray normal, then and he has to pray on the ship, because that if he was to delay the salat, he will miss the time. So the person then will pray on that small boat, and in the fashion which is he's able. He will pray according to how he's able on this small boat. So that's concerning the circumstances regarding this. The second regarding a aircraft. So today concern the person that in the aircraft that you might find the person he prays according to his ability. If he's able to stand and pray, then the person should do so. As you might find in some aircraft that they have a area designated for salah. So the person generally, if he's able, they can find a area in the aircraft and to pray normal, then the person will do so. If the person is unable to find a area to pray normal, meaning standing position, and carry out all the acts accordingly, then the person pray according to what's best suited to his situation. So if he has to pray sitting, then the person can do so because he's unable to pray standing. And the same concerning would apply to a train or a bus, that a person also he prays if he's on this way of medium of transport, that he prays according to his ability. So if he's unable to stop on the bus and to pray, he has to continue on the bus and he will lose the time for the salat, then a person pray according to how he's able, which will be in the sitting position. And the same to apply on a train. So the person can stand and pray, then a person do so, which in most cases not possible unless that train have a designated area for salah. But if the person is there, then the person who prays in his seat according to his ability. So that's concerning that particular matter. But as mentioned concerning the hadith that mentioned, it is something which is weak. So you find the like of Shawkani rahimullah, he mentioned regarding this matter concerning that this matter regarding the person he prays on these matter, whether in safar or hadar. So the person that so general concern with the person that he prays in most that a person, if he's in a circumstance that he prays, if he's in that situation, in most cases concerning safar, but if the person is in his locality, then due to situation and circumstance, and the person prays according to his ability. So that's concerning that particular matter. So this is concerning a person and the ability to use of those concessions that are allowed due to the circumstance of not being able to pray in a normal standing position. Aywa.
Mike. قال مؤلف حفظه الله. It is obligatory for a Muslim who performs prayer while riding his animal or what takes the same ruling like a car, etc., to face the Qibla if possible. Allah the Exalted be He says, English rendering being, and wherever you are, believers are, turn your faces, i.e. yourselves towards it in prayer. Surah Baqarah, verse 144. One must also do whatever one is able to do to perform of bowing, prostrating, and tranquility in prayer, as Allah exalted be He says, English rendering being, so fear Allah as much as you are able. Al-Quran At-Taghabun 16. Thus, one is not legally required to do what is beyond one's capacity. If a Muslim riding his animal cannot face the Qibla, then it is not obligatory upon him to face it, and he is to face any direction in prayer. Likewise, a passenger on a plane is to perform prayer as much as he can. He may stand, sit, bow, prostrate, or beckon bowing and prostration with his head according to his situation, but he must face the Qibla, for it is possible to do so.
So the author rahimahullah kind of somewhat mentioned these masahil regarding the person who's a rakib, the person who's a rider, and a different type of ways that a person might find themselves regarding being a rakib, whether by way of a plane, by way of a train, or buses or cars. So that's concerned that matter that the Shaykh Hafidullah have reinforced regarding that matter. It is mentioned concerning Ahmed and also Ishaq, annahuma yaqulan, that Ahmed and Ishaq, that they, all of you concerning Yajuz al-Farida, meaning as-Salat al-Farida, ala-Rahila, that it is permissible for one to pray as-Salat al-Farida ala-Rahila, إِذَا لَمْ يَجِدْ موقفا, if they do not find a place, a mawqif, يؤدي فيه al-Farida nazilan, if they are unable to find a place to pray by dismounting from their animal. So that's concerning that some of the ulama take that view that Salat al-Farida can be done on the animal if the person is unable to dismount and to pray normal. So that's concerned that matter. And also the ulama mentioned concern that, that يجوز بعض علماء الصلاة على راحلة في الحضر. So also another matter concerned the ulama discuss that also it is permissible with some of the ulama give the permissibility that a person can pray on their mount or pray as a rakib في الحضر, while he is in his locality. ومن أهؤلاء العلماء, and of those who take this view, Abu Yusuf, Abu Sa'id, Al-Istaskri, من الشافعية, and also Al-Zahir, so some of the Shafi'iyah, Al-Zahir, and also Abu Yusuf of the Hanafiya, who all concern a person that in his locality can pray. It is allowed to pray if the person can pray on his mount as a rakib if he's unable to dismount and to pray normally. So that's sort of concerning that. So that's concerning that matter. And as mentioned, fattakullah mastata'atum, that the person free Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the best of one's ability. So each person would be the one to look at their situation and then to see first, am I able to dismount or remove myself from this vehicle or from this vessel, and I'm able to pray normal. If not, then the person pray in the what is available to them. They pray according to what is available to them. So also they mention regarding that another matter regarding as for salat and nafila ala rahila, as salatul nafila ala rahila on a person being a rakib yajuz bil ijma. So regarding concern a person being one who prays the non-compulsory salat in a sitting or as a rider, then this is permissible according to the ijma of the ulama, and also an-nas. So they mention regarding concerning of those who mentioned this concerning At-Tirmidhi, Ibn Abdul Barr, Ibn Qudama, An-Nawawi, Ibn Taymiyyah, Shawkani, and also Al-Aini from the Anafiyya. Now, so shown that a group of the ulama who owes that this is something which is permissible. So and then we mentioned that as for that's concerned matter, and they mentioned لا يجوز صلاة الفريضة على راحلة من غير العذر. And also just another caution that the ulama also mentioned that is not permissible for a person to pray as a rakib, as a rider for the Salatul Farida, except he has for a reason. He has an udhr, he has a valid reason shar'an to do so. Now, so that's concerning that these general matters pertaining to this particular discussion regarding as-salat al-rakib. So this stuff, those of amongst those people are considered to be al-adhar regarding the person being a rider and the different ways, especially in today's time, that and also of the past, that those things existed and still exist today, and these concessions are still remain in the Sharia regarding a person praying as a raqib is salat according to his ability regarding the nafila and also the farida as outlined. وبالله تعالى توفيق وهذه السبيل والآخر دعونا الحمد لله.